Hey guys, so I'm going to take you along as I go thrifting this week to show you some of the treasures that I am finding in the stores. I saw this really pretty wreath for $3.99. I thought about getting it, trimming off some of the faux fruit. It would be really pretty, neutral wreath. And I also spotted this wire basket. I thought that was a cute find too. I also found these pewter chargers. I thought these would be really pretty even hung on a wall too, like a plate wall. Thought those were really pretty. I didn't get them, but I liked those too. And then of course, I always love finding white ceramic dishes. I spotted these at the Salvation Army. And then I had another like antique thrift store and I found this for only $3. I don't decorate with much red, or else I probably would have gotten that. Also found some very nice patinaed copper kettles that I loved, and these were a little bit more, $18, but I thought those were really cute too. Also this Liberty Blue, which I do collect, thought that was cute. Also this accordion peg rail or rack I thought was nice find. And then also at the Goodwill I saw this, which was really cute for buffalo check. I've seen these at like boutique stores for a lot more. This one I think was only $3.99. And then this really cute tiny crock. I saw another one that was a potpourri crock. This wasn't a potpourri crock, but I thought that was cute for only $3.99. Some more ceramic dishes as well. Lots of treasures out there thrifting this week. I also spotted this False Graph Village Collection creamer and serving dish for $3.99 a piece. And when I went to Savers, I found the False Graph Yorktown Collection. I love the Yorktown Collection canister set. The flour, sugar, coffee, and tea canisters. They were $7.99. The coffee was only $5.99, which I thought was a decent price, especially if you stack that with a 20% off coupon too. But the sugar canister was missing the lid. They all had the lid except the sugar one. And of course the baskets, and then lots of glass vases, but you really have to dig through to find some good ones that are at a decent price. And then this galvanized bucket, which was $3.49. It was originally from Target, but it was a cute little bucket too. It's been a fun week of thrifting. I have come home with some treasures I cannot wait to show you. And I thought it would be fun to do a little early spring decorating with some of the things that I found. It has been a very mild winter here in Buffalo. We're used to a lot of snow, and for February it has not snowed that much at all. It's been quite mild actually, so it has got me in the mood to do a little bit of early spring decorating. I also ran to Trader Joe's and grabbed some fresh flowers, because one thing I love to do is incorporate some real and fresh flowers in my home for early spring. Just makes everything feel so fresh and alive. I also love taking like little herb plants and things like that too, but I do that all the time anyways. But I've come home with some treasures that I cannot wait to show you. I love decorating with baskets. I found some good ones this week. And we're gonna kick this off with a find that I'm excited to try out. This is so silly, but you know, sometimes it's the silly things that you just are drawn to. For me, it is. But this was really nostalgic for me for a very odd reason. So when I was thrifting, I saw something and I didn't get it then. I liked it. I was like, and it was $13.99 or $13.49. I'll show it to you in just a second. I know you're like, what is it, Jen? It was $13.49. I had a 20% off coupon, because if you shop at Savers, if you have a Savers, if you donate something, you get a 20% off coupon. So every time I go to Savers, I always take something and I get a coupon. So it was 20% off the $13.49. But anyways, I didn't get it when I was there. And this is so like me. So often then I come home and I start thinking about it, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it. I was looking it up on eBay, and it's the silliest thing, because I normally use something else. Let me just tell you what it is before. So anyways, this is what I picked up, and I love this. But okay, so here's the story. I know I'm trying to figure out how I want to tell you this. So anyways, I picked up this potpourri crock, which would be considered vintage since it's from like the 80s, which I don't know why I was so drawn to this thing, because normally I use an old copper kettle when I do like little simmer pots. I use them on my stove, which I actually bought a new one thrifting this week too, which I'll show you in just a second, because the one that I normally use for my simmer pots I actually have in like my decor right now, so I wanted to get another one. So I got one first, but I could not stop thinking about this potpourri pot. I think this is from 87 or 88, so it's not that old. But I saw it at the store. I didn't get it because I thought it was a little pricey. Normally if it's under $10 is normally my game, but it was $13.49. I had the 20% off coupon. I came home that night. I was looking them up and they don't go for incredibly much. They're like maybe $20, $25 plus, but of course shipping. And I just like, this just looks so fun because I love doing like these potpourri pots, and for some reason I just like this. I can't tell you why, I just did. And I just thought it would be fun to have. So next morning I was there at Savers right when they opened. I'm like, if it's still there, it was meant to be. It was still there. So it was obviously meant to be. So I thought it would be fun. We're going to clean it up. And because I was planning on doing a simmer pot anyways with my new copper kettle that I got to do my simmer pots in, because I love that, because it's on the stove and you can have it simmering and it makes the house smell so great. And it's such a great way to start incorporating that early spring freshness into your home. I love doing that. But no, I think we're going to do it with this instead and see how it works. So I'll be able to test this out. Hopefully it works. Clean it up because it looks like it could use a little cleaning. And then I'm going to do my simmer pot in this. I was going to do some lemon and cinnamon, make it smell fresh, some rosemary. That's what I love to do. I love simmer pots. I love them in the fall. I love them in the spring. I love them year round. It's just that added layer of just that freshness in your home, which I love to do with my candles and my wax melts, but then also doing this too just makes the house smell so fresh. I love to do it even with my diffuser, my essential oils. I love the smells. So I had to get this. I don't know. Was I crazy? Do you like this too? Don't you like this? I love it. I love it. I don't know why. I told Wade, I said, I gotta go back for the potpourri crock. He was like, oh, okay. But so that's it. Like I said, so it was what, like $11-ish with the 20% off? I don't know. I can't wait to try it out. That's the thing. So we're going to try this out now. Let's give it a good clean and then we will see how it works, and I will tell you about the copper pot. Well, let me tell you about the copper pot first. So and then we'll go into the kitchen and clean this up and get this going and see how it works. So put it to the test too. So like I mentioned before, I wanted to get a copper kettle. I love doing this. I've talked about it before. I think especially over on Instagram, I've shared this, especially for the fall. But I always do, I see so often people get like the glass like sauce pots for doing simmer pots so you can see everything so pretty in there. Well, I like to use copper kettles. I just think it looks so pretty on the stove. So if you like doing simmer pots too, try doing it in a copper kettle because it's so pretty. So I have one that I've used for years on my stove that I thrifted. But I've now got that kind of like tucked in a nice like decor. So I didn't want to like have to always pull that out. It's kind of like part of the decor right now. So I was going to get a new one. And then I found this one at Salvation Army. Salvation Army. It's $9.99, which again, I'm usually for these like something like this, like if it was like $4.99, $5.99. But anyways, it copper usually calling me, and they had a lot of copper there. So I couldn't resist it. I love copper kettles. I talk about it all the time. I collect them. So even if I wasn't getting this probably for a simmer pot, I probably would have gotten it anyways, because I was thinking even to put it in my pantry, which I just showed you how I did the makeover on that too. But it's so cute. So what I like to do normally is I will add all of my stuff for the simmer pots in here and then just have that on the stove. One thing you have to do, obviously, if you have a simmer pot on the stove, you gotta, make sure you're checking it out, making sure it's not running out of liquid, so it's not burning, because I've done that before. So that's why I always like, the potpourri crock pot, I think will be nice because I don't think I might have to babysit it as much. Like with this, like for fall, I will add like apple cider, or if I have extra apple cider. What I did actually too is I'll take like leftover apple cider at the end of the season, or if it's like the expired, I will put that in the freezer. So I have apple cider in the freezer right now, and then that's what I use for my simmer pots too. So I always have that because that smells so good, even year round, using that in place of, you know, just regular water. But I figured let's play with the simmer pot now and see how it works. I'm anxious to see if it lets out enough smell. So we got to clean this up. So let's head into the kitchen, get this going, and then I will show you some of the other goodies that I found thrifting this weekend as well. Or this week, thrifting this week. I'm sharing this weekend. Thrifting this week as well. So first up, I'm going to give this a good clean, but spoiler alert, I actually ruined it a little bit. I took a magic eraser to it. There was this tiny little spot where it said potpourri that I couldn't get off with the hot water and thieves. So I just took the magic eraser a little bit. I should have known better, I know. And I just rubbed it on there a little bit, and it actually took off some of the lettering. So it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it now. But first, I just add some thieves to some hot water. I love using the thieves. I'll link it below too because it's so good. I love the way it cleans my home, everything. So, and a little bit goes a long way. It's very concentrated. So I add just a little bit to my hot water, and I'm going to spray it down, give it a good wipe down. And then I noticed this little stain, which I noticed even beforehand too. And I thought it would come off with some warm water, and it didn't. So that's why I got the magic eraser out, just to gently scrub on that little spot. And now I have an potpourri pot instead of potpourri pot, but like I said, it is what it is. So let's give it a good clean first, and you'll see where the magic eraser comes in, and I took off some of the lettering. So here I go in with the magic eraser. No, Jen, no, but I did. And I just a little bit there. Yep, there it is. And then you could see kind of me stepping back going, I really thought, did I just do that? Oh my goodness. But I'm looking at it kind of shocked that I did just a little bit and it took it off. But like I said, there's nothing I can do. Gonna press forward, move forward, cleaning off the lid. And we're gonna make some nice potpourri and enjoy this potpourri pot. So it says here that you can't add more than 3 cups water. So I'm gonna add some water, slice up some fresh lemon, add some cinnamon sticks, some rosemary, and then I love to use some mulling spices. So it's gonna smell hopefully really good. We're gonna give this a shot and see how it works. And you could use any mini crock pot or even a regular size crock pot to make these crock pot simmer pots. I was just drawn to this one specifically because it said at one point potpourri crock. It was just a bit nostalgic for me, but any mini crock pot will work, or regular size crock pot. Just add everything inside of it. I even saw one at the thrift store that was very similar to this one. It had the brown insert as well. It just didn't say potpourri crock, but this one was actually a lot cheaper too. This one was only $3.99, so maybe I should have gone that one instead. But anyways, I had everything in here. I also add some vanilla, pure vanilla extract as well, just a little bit, and we'll see how well this simmer pot works. I tucked it in here on my counter, plugged it in, and I think it looks really cute here. Now, I'll only keep it here when I have it working. If I'm not using it, I'd probably just put it underneath in one of the cabinets. But unfortunately, you guys, I had this going for a couple of hours and it got warm, but I just could not smell it like I can smell it when I use my kettle method. So unfortunately, this was kind of a bust. So I poured everything from the crock into my kettle, and then I turn it on high, bring it to a boil, and then I lower the temperature to a simmer, and within just a couple of minutes, you can smell it in the entire house. Even when he came down, he's like, wow, the crock's really working. I'm like, no, honey, the crock isn't working. It's the kettle. So unfortunately, I was so excited. The anticipation for the crock I thought was going to work really well, and I liked it. It was so cute, but it just wasn't what I expected. not going to get rid of it. I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'll find another use for it, for some other project or whatever, but I really love my kettle method too, and it looks pretty too. I bring the liquid to a boil and then reduce the heat to a simmer, and you can smell this lingering throughout the house within a minute. It smells so good, and then I just keep an eye on it and add some more liquid every so often when needed. I didn't want to give up on my potpourri crock, so I gave it one more try. I even took the magic eraser to the rest of the wording and rubbed that off as well, and it just didn't work. It gets warm, but I don't think it gets hot enough for it to simmer. Maybe that's why it was at the thrift store. So I did another simmer pot in my mini crock pot that I have, added everything to it. Now I do prefer my stove method in my kettle over the crock pot. It just doing it on the stove, it works almost instantly, where the crock pot takes a while for it to warm up, for it to simmer, but it's a nice alternative. So I'm going to plug it in and then put it on high, and within a little bit it will start simmering and lingering throughout the home. So I have a couple finds from the Goodwill this week. First up is this accordion peg rack. I thought this one was so cute because it's actually a little smaller than ones that I see. And I was thinking of hanging this in the entryway where I was going to hang that Turnpike Fair sign up that I got. I don't know if this will be too small. We'll see. If not, the backup plan is to save this. We are working on a project in the kids' bathroom, which is also a full bath that we use for guests too, but which is upstairs, which I'll be taking along with. So you'll see that coming up. But that's plan B. So I do have a backup if this doesn't work, but I thought it would be pretty too to hang, basket on as well. I love these. I think they're really cute. This was $3.99. I mean, you can get these, for about $20-ish. So, but for $3.99, I thought it was a great little find and something to hang up in the entryway. So this was another thrifted find this week. I've gotten a few baskets this week, which I'll be showing you. This is a basket that I picked up at the Goodwill. I loved it. I love like these brown baskets. It's a really good size. It's a rectangle. I thought it was a good size too. I'm thinking of putting it back there. I'm going to take away the vase and put this in here. And then I do have the fresh flowers that I want to use for some arrangements. I got some baby's breath, some eucalyptus, and then this is like a wax flower. So I like incorporating the fresh flowers, which I will use, and we'll be making some cute little simple arrangements, simple like just with the single. But I have these faux tulips from Tattered Tulip. They're tulips from Tattered Tulip. They're so pretty. They have the best tulips there. So let me make sure this is zooming in. So I thought, I love baskets with florals or greenery coming out. It's just so pretty. So I think we'll arrange these. Obviously, I just threw them in there and see how that looks back there. These are such beautiful tulips. I have, I think, 2 or 3 bunches in there. I'll link them below too if you're looking for some really beautiful faux tulips. They come in so many different colors, but these are just so realistic too. So I was thinking of just doing these, kind of having them draping in the basket and putting them on the table back there. So we'll see about that. We'll get to decorating here in just a minute. I'll show you the other baskets that I found too, get them all out of the way. So the other basket I found is, well, there's 2. Let me just switch these out. I love this basket. So isn't it pretty? Again, that same brown color as well. Isn't it pretty? I just love the style. So I think my thought process here is to put this on my new hutch that I took you along as I did that in the last video. And then some of you mentioned putting something on top of the hutch, which I am totally about putting stuff on top of the hutch. I have it up here on this hutch in my dining room. I have, my Corbel shelf over here. I love putting stuff on top of the hutch too, just to kind of really bring it all together. I was just kind of letting it breathe as I restyled it quickly. So I think I'm going to put something on top of the hutch, and then move things around and maybe put this on the new hutch. I just thought this was pretty. You guys, this was $1.99. There was no price tag on it, but I love the size. And the funny story is, when I was at the Salvation Army. I was about to walk out and I saw it kind of like on a shelf in the back. I went over there, grabbed it off the shelf. Of course, there was no price, so I took it up and like, you know, there's no price. She goes, $1.99. I said, sold. I loved it. I loved it. I love the style. I love the size, and I love the price. So we'll decorate with this one as well. And then the last basket that I grabbed for this week too, this one was $4.49 from Savers. Then I had my 20% off coupon because, again, you know, I always go into Savers with a coupon. So this one was $4.49. And I just loved this one too. Isn't it pretty? So if the Goodwill basket doesn't work out, maybe we'll do that back there too with the tulips too. But I was kind of thinking of adding some of the faux, maybe eucalyptus or the baby's breath in here too. I'll show you how I, you know, add fresh flowers to my baskets. But let me show you. Let me grab some of these tulips. I love this look. I love this look of flowers draping out of a basket. So we'll play around with that, but I just loved the style basket. I love the detailing on it too. Isn't it pretty? Look at with just a few of the tulips in it too. So we'll see. This one might go in the back. We're going to play around. We're going to do a little decorating with my thrifted finds for early spring. And I got a few more other finds to show you before we get decorating. Another thing I love to collect when I'm thrifting is obviously looking for ironstone. I love collecting the false graph, but I also just love collecting pretty white ceramic pieces that I can incorporate into my decor. I love collecting really pretty white plates and saucers because I decorate with them all over. I did find some pretty false craft pieces at Savers. These were $4.99, and then of course I had the 20% off. So this was the creamer. Isn't it pretty? I love this. So for, you know, 20% off $4.99, I thought was a really good deal. And I love using this. But this is also really cute to use as a vessel to put some fresh flowers in too, to decorate with. And then I also got the little sugar too for $4.99 and then 20% off as well. And I thought it was so cute. Such a great little find as well at Savers. So that's something I always look for when I am thrifting. And then I also got one of the serving dishes too. And this one was $6.99. So really pretty as well. I love this piece too for $6.99, and then of course 20% off, which I'm not going to do the math for, but I love this because you can really have fun using this. Obviously it's a functional piece, it's a practical piece, but it's also a decorative piece. But you can also use this to put things in to decorate in, you know, in a bathroom. You could put some pretty soaps in there. So many ways that you can use this in your home for decorating. So we will style this somewhere in my home too, along with the sugar and creamer. And then a couple pieces that were not false graph, but I just thought were so pretty. It's Mikasa, but it's called French Countryside. And I just love this really pretty bowl. I like that subtle scalloped edge. This was $1.99 at Salvation Army. So I couldn't pass that up too, because I just love incorporating, you know, pretty white pieces in my home. And then I found a stack of 4 like lunch size plates, salad plates, and then the 5 saucers. Such a random, but the whole set was only $5.99 for all of these. So I thought that was a good deal too, because you can decorate. It's again the French Countryside collection. And then I kept looking around to make sure I didn't miss any of the pieces, because I would have grabbed more. So I got 4 plates and 5 of the salad or the saucers. So that was also a really good find. I like to put these on my rack, my dish rack, or I like to put them in my hutch. I like to decorate with them. I like to use them, you know, to stack a few together, to put something on top, to put a candle on top. So many ways that you can use these to decorate with in your home. So always on the lookout for that. So $5.99 for those 9 pieces, and then $1.99 for this. And then I did stop at an antique store. This is my only antique find. I know this is all thrifting, but I gotta show you. I have to show you because I love it. So then I also got this fall scrap. This is the Yorktown collection, which is just, it's such a pretty piece. This is a salt box, which I love. And I got this for $19.99. I think it was like $19, something roughly like that. But I'm gonna clean this up and we'll put this in the kitchen too. So this is part of the Yorktown collection. Funny enough, I did see at Savers more pieces that went with this, but they must have been newer because the stamp on the bottom was a little different, but I really like this one a lot, don't you? So we're going to clean this up too, add some salt in because this is so pretty but also functional. So this was my only, I ran into the antique store really quick because I'm always, you know, if I see you in an antique store, I'll run in and kind of just do a quick little run, you know, run through. And then I found a couple pieces. I'll just show you really quick because I always mention too, I love looking at seasonal decor, especially now because people have kind of cleaned out their fall and Christmas decor. So it's kind of, there's a surplus of that stuff this time of year because people have cleaned that out from, you know, the fall and winter. So I always like scoping that out. I found a cute little pumpkin. I'll show you that really quick, even though it's supposed to be spring. And just some other dishes too. So one sec. So this was a cute little pumpkin I found. I stuffed a little receipt in there. It actually had a lid on it too, but I took the lid off because I kind of like it without the lid better. So this will be cute for Halloween, even for fall. I just thought it was kind of cute and rustic looking. Add a little tea light in there too. It's $1.99, I think. Yeah, $1.99. Like, so it was a bead. One of Eden's beads to her bracelets was in there. So it was $1.99. I thought that was just a great little find. Like I said, it had a little lid on it too, but I like it without the lid. So got that, and then one other thing. And my other thrifting find this week were just these plates. I like these. They were $3.99 for two. And I just like these for entertaining, for crackers, dips, you know, cheese, all the things. It was a 2-pack. It's Wegmans brand, so it's obviously, it's a local grocery store, Northeast grocery store, but it started here in this area. So it's nothing like old or anything, but I just like them. So for $3.99, $2 for a bowl, and they're really heavy too. Perfect for entertaining. One thing that I'm always looking for when I'm thrifting. So that was it. The shirt I have on was a thrifted shirt too, because I always love finding thrifted finds too. I always, more for my son than for my daughter. She's a little bit more picky, but I got him, even like when I was thrifting, I got him like a Vineyard Vine shirt for like $9, Nike shorts for like $5, $6. Like, so this was a thrifted find too. It was, I think, $4. Trying to make sure I didn't forget anything so I normally am. So anyways, those were my thrifted finds for the week. Now I'm excited to do a little decorating with the baskets that I found. So I'm going to take you along to do that. We'll make some arrangements with the pretty Trader Joe's fresh flowers to kind of add a little spring into this early spring, end of February, beginning of March time, where it's kind of like, you know, it could be winter one day, spring the next, especially in this area where I am. It could be like summer one day and snowing the next. So, but we'll take it. I love it. It's just, you know that spring, we're heading into spring. So it's nice to kind of start incorporating that into your home a little bit. So let's do a little arranging and decorating with some of these thrifted finds that I got this week. So first up, I'm going to clean out the salt box that I got with some just warm soapy water. I just washed it underneath the faucet. So I'm just giving it, I want to dry it really, really good before I add the salt. So I'm drying it off. No magic eraser around. I'm not going to use that. And just drying it off. And then I'm going to add my salt. I love this Redmond salt. I've used it for years. It is such a good salt, you guys. So I'll actually link it below too if you want to grab some. I use both the coarse and the regular salt. This one I use for a lot of my cooking. So I love it. So I took my old little salt crock that I used. It was probably from Magnolia, I think, and I'm going to add it to my new salt box here, adding the rest of the salt in this. So it holds so much. I love this. And then I'm going to put this next to my mixer. Next, I'm moving into the living room, and I was going to put this basket on top of the hutch, but it was too wide. So I'm swapping out the baskets. I'm going to try this one on top, and it just didn't look right, and I didn't want to add too much on top of the hutch. So I actually am going to grab my dough bowl that I had in my dining room. I added some florals, just a floral stem from Hobby Lobby. I've had this one. I love it. It's so pretty. And put that on top of the hutch, and I love it. It's perfect. And I love the simplicity. Then of course I'm gonna light a candle. This is vanilla cake from Antique Candle Co. It smells so good. It smells so yummy. It smells like you're baking. I'll actually link it for you below as well. Moving into the dining room, I'm going to remove everything off this table and add this basket that I got at the Goodwill, which by the way was $5.99. I don't think I mentioned it before, but it was $5.99. I also try this other basket here, but I like the bigger basket. So I'm going to try this here and add some of the tulips in there. And like I mentioned before, I just love the way flowers look draping out of a basket. It's so pretty, even for fall and for Christmas with just greenery. It's always such a pretty classic look. So I add some mason jars in the basket to help keep the flowers up, but it also is low enough to conceal the glass jars. So it's a good way to keep them held up. And I love these Real Touch flowers because they're bendable and you can stand them up. And I just love the way this looks. It's so pretty and simple, and I just like that cottage style look, and it's so springy with the tulips in the basket. I just love that look. So now I'm going to take my thrifted plates, and I'm actually going to grab a runner. This is just a small runner, but a tea towel would work as well, and I'm going to drape that on the table and then place the plates on top. Like I mentioned before, I love decorating with plates and stacking them. It creates some height. And then I'm going to place my butter ladle on top of that. I've had this and I just love this look. Moving on to the dining room table, I'm going to place this basket here for now. It's not going to stay here very long. I'm actually going to move it to the entryway, but I make this arrangement here. I'm going to take some mason jars, and then I'm going to use the baby's breath, and I'm going to use the mason jars, fill it with a little bit of water, and then cut down the baby's breath. And I just love the way it looks in this basket. I'm actually just trying to decide what flowers I wanted to use, but I end up going with the baby's breath. It's so pretty. I love how the white pops with the brown basket, but I'm going to move it into the entryway. I'm also going to get rid of all the chargers and the plates on the table and just create a very simple, cozy cottage dining table. I feel when we don't have a lot of stuff on the table, we use it more. So I'm getting rid of all of the tablescape. I'm going to place a crate that I've had on the table and then place everything in there. I removed everything from the table, and then I'm going to place this crate in the center of the table, add the pitcher, and then I take a mason jar, fill it with a little bit of water, and place that in the pitcher since this is such a big pitcher. Then I'm going to add my eucalyptus stems. I'm also going to take the plates that were on the table, stack them up, and place them on the crate along with my thrifted Falstaff creamer and sugar. And then I'm going to take the Falstaff serving dish that I got, place it on the table as well. So it's a functional piece if I want to use it, but I'm going to also just place a little candle in there. So I just love that look, and it's a great little place to set a candle. Moving on to the sideboard, I'm going to place this bowl that I just recently got that I shared with you when I went antiquing. Then here is my thrifted bowl that I got for $1.99. I'm just going to add this faux apples in it for now. And then when I'm not using my copper kettle as a simmer pot, I just like that little pop of copper here. And I just love the simplicity of how this looks. And here is how the dining room looks with just a few simple changes with some of my new thrifted finds. I ended up hanging the peg rack in the entry for now, and I think it looks kind of cute. I'm thinking about maybe staining it, but for now I really like it here. I just added a basket with some greens. Now this basket that I'm placing here is the one that was on the hutch, so just moving things around. And then here are a few more of my thrifted plates that I love to use. I just like to stack them up. I'm going to place a candle here in the entryway too. And I just love this little corner area in our entryway. And then here's the basket that I filled with the baby's breath and a few little changes in the entryway with some of my new thrifted finds. Okay, you guys, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had fun. I hope you got some decorating inspo for your home as well. And I hope you got some ideas for what to look out for when you are thrifting too. And also make sure you are following me over on Facebook and Instagram at Mother Time. You can also check out my blog, mothertime.com. Thanks so much, you guys, for joining me here today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.